What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're having a look at the very controversial, brand new Sugar Medal Exchange update. And the reason why I say it's controversial is because we got a very interesting piece of information when this news broke about the brand new medal exchange for the month of December. And that pertains to very particular units that are currently not out on Japan. Specifically talking about Kung Fu Luffy, talking about the Ace and the Vivi, as well as these Log Straw Hat characters, okay? I think this pudding is also considered one of those units too. What is happening is because of the content schedule sync that's happening between Global and Japan, the characters that Japan currently does not have, that Global has, which are the ones that we just talked about, they're not going to be available after that sync point of scheduling, when that happens, okay? These characters are no longer going to be available, meaning that this is the only opportunity right now to pick up these characters, specifically talking about the 100, the 50 medal, as well as the 150 medal Kung Fu Luffy. So I just wanted to get that out of the way just first off, that these characters are no longer going to be available in any regular rare recruit pool moving forward. So if you want to get them, you have to get them in this medal exchange, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about each of these characters. Straight off the bat, these 50 medal Straw Hat characters, they're all terrible units. You're not going to use them in content. Let's just get that straight. But the thing about it is that these characters are no longer going to be available. So if you have the medals available, I mean, yeah, you can get them if you want. You're not going to be missing out on too much if you don't get them. But just saying, they're going to be there. You can pick them up if you want. You don't need them to clear content though, okay? Moving on up to the 100 medal tier, the VV and the Log Ace are going to still be here. I would highly suggest picking up those two characters, definitely. Remember that, you know, the legends will cycle as time progresses, but you gotta remember that the Log Ace and the VV are not going to be returning after the month of December. And the same goes for this pudding. I think this pudding is definitely worth it as well. Great utility unit. All of these three characters I would advise picking up for 100 medals. And then the Kung Fu Luffy, yeah, look, we already know he's a bit of a meme. He has a great support effect, by the way, and he's not unusable in Pirate Rumble either. I would advise picking him up as well. These limited units that are only going to be available in this month moving forward for the game's history, definitely just get them. I mean, you never know when you're going to need them, and I definitely think you should be picking up these units. However, we also have a character here, this Int Rayleigh. Int Rayleigh is one of the best support characters in the entire game. If you don't pick him up, you're a silly sausage. You need to go ahead and get him. He is awesome. However, the other characters in this tier are definitely up for, you know, not really much of a debate. These characters are not really usable that much. I mean, like, Lucci is trash. Lucy is good, a little bit outdated though. If you get him, you'd probably want to expand his limit break, get him super evolved. At that point, he's actually pretty usable. Before that though, not really. You've also got Rayleigh. No, you don't really need him. He's okay in PvP. You've got V2 Shanks, who is usable, as well as V1 Katakuri, who I still like, but I mean, if you really have to waste medals for him, no, just wait until he's available on a Sugaro Fest, or wait until another point in time. Unless if you really want the unit and that's the only character that you're missing, probably not advise getting that unit. Moving on up though to the 250 medal tier, we've got Sabo and Koala as well as Douglas Bullet. For 250 medals, I think Douglas Bullet and Sabo Koala are pretty fair prices, honestly. They're pretty old units now, but I mean, they're still sort of usable. Sabo Koala doesn't see that much play anymore, but you know, as we said, they're usable still. But then you've got Bullet, and I think Bullet for 250 medals, if you don't have him, is a steal. That unit is just continuously getting better and better over time. Still to this day, even with a captain effect that, you know, is around like, what, 2020? He came out early 2020 on Global. He's still really good as a captain, despite, you know, only being a 4x captain. He's 4.75 to himself, guaranteed to be super effective against all types. And essentially every time they release a character that is a really good unit for strength, int, and quick teams, Bullet can abuse them, which is pretty cool, right? And he hybrids well with a lot of good units. So I do think that 250 medals for Bullet is pretty good. Alright, so I've just gone to move my webcam so you guys can see the top half of this infographic a little bit easier. But for 400 medals, we have Arlong Crew. No, definitely not worth 400 medals. Super type Katakuri. No, probably not. If you're lacking a very strong int super type character, then yeah, I think, you know, Katakuri is pretty good. But honestly, no, definitely not a character that you need. You got V3 Boa Hancock, the Psy Super type Boa Hancock. If you have characters like Goldie Roger, 6+ Yamato, no, it's not really a character that you really should need. I would probably avoid picking up this unit. And then you got the Sweet Commanders. Sweet Commanders is one of those units that actually works very well with Douglas Bullet, actually. Great combination between these two characters. Sweet Commanders, though, are a pretty good unit for a couple of different reasons. They have a very good support effect attaching to Big Mom characters, and, you know, there's lots of good Big Moms in the game. And their support removes Despair and Special Button, which is, like, crazy good. As a captain, they're okay, but their super type condition is a little bit difficult to fulfill. Their special, though, is pretty good, giving you attack boost, color affinity, and a chain boost in one special activation is pretty awesome. But all in all, like, the super type special is pretty average. The captain effect is not as good as other strength super type characters that we currently have. The main use of this unit is his support effect, and I mean, they're okay in PvP, but there's definitely better units you could be using on a mono strength team. Across the board, I feel like the 400 metal tier in this, you know, Sugo Metal Exchange is definitely underwhelming, and I think it's fine. I think that's completely okay that it's an underwhelming Sugo Metal Exchange, considering the fact that we have these other characters here that probably deserve to be picked up before them. So to conclude this very brief Sugo Metal Exchange video for this month, definitely the 100 metal tier characters, I would be picking up all of those units, the Pudding, the VV, and the Ace. I definitely think the 150 metal Kung Fu Luffy is definitely worthwhile picking up. Remember that this is going to be here for an entire month, so you've got plenty of time to conserve those medals, considering the fact that, you know, we got the New Year's celebration event and, you know, whatever else comes out during the month of December that you could be saving your Sugo medals for. So once you do a bunch of pulls on the potential New Year Sugo Fest, then you can go ahead and spend the medals in the medal exchange, right? Now, the 50 metal tier characters, as we mentioned a bit earlier, these characters are not that good at all, but they're more of a collection style unit. And remember, these are not going to be pullable moving forward. So that's basically the rundown of this particular Sugo Metal Exchange for the month of December 2021, and I would believe that moving forward into January 2022, that Global and Japan should be sharing the same Sugo Metal Exchange. So if that is the case, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of Sugo Metal Exchange we get. And honestly, it would be awesome if they continuously upgrade the Sugo Metal Exchange to include characters such as Treasure Map Rare Recruit characters that were inaccessible prior to this point, or even special time characters. Like I know I mentioned a lot in other Discord servers, the Bonsai Akainu and the boat version of Kuzan. Those two very rare limited time characters are phenomenal characters for so many different teams, and they've only been out like 2 times like ever in their existence, and I do think it would be awesome if they gave a little bit more opportunity for people to pick up these very powerful limited time characters. But anyways, that is going to conclude this video today. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you take this knowledge on board and pick up the units that I would suggest. I mean, as we already said, everything about these new limited units that are not coming back, definitely get them. But then you've got Rayleigh as well. Rayleigh is definitely the best choice out of these other choices here. Just talking about the regular legends, Rayleigh is definitely the best choice. And then like Bo is okay, Bullet's a good price for what he is, Katakuri if you don't have a good int super type. That's it, right? So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today, and if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.